All right, guys. I hope we're back. So most of you know where I've been by now. Came down with the COVID back in January. It's been almost 3 months. Yeah, it's been terrible. So we're gonna start knocking out these pack reviews because, like I said, hopefully we're back. Hopefully we're rolling again. So we're gonna start with this company who's very new to the game. Frutero. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. Frutero. 100% real fruit ice cream. So they are they're trying to do the whole tropical theme here. They've got 5 flavors right now. We're gonna dig into mango. First for me, Guanabana, passion fruit, guava, and coconut. Each pint is 100% real fruit. The natural flavor comes exclusively from the right fruits, and they never use any artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners. Super creamy, thanks to all natural 14% butterfat dairy. We will see about that. And they currently ship, so you can buy these if all this that we're about to dig into tickles your fancy. So, without further ado, no random order here. Let's dig in. All right, so let's hit the texture aspect with these, and I've dug into them all already. But it looks like the ingredients list is pretty clean. We have the first 2 ingredients on every label I'm looking at here is milk and then cream, and the third ingredient is the particular flavor that you're digging into. Then it's got things like cane sugar, guar gum, xanthan gum, locust bean gum, citric acid, ascorbic acid, and salt. And that's pretty much the standard lineup besides the changing fruit in each pint. And like I said, there's no mix-ins here. This is gonna be straight fruity ice cream. So you're gonna have a standard base. It's hard to tell here with the bright light. Maybe if I dial that down, I don't know. We're doing guava. It's light pink in color. I know it's really hard to tell well the bright light, but it's a light, very light pink, almost like a Himalayan pink, like a Himalayan salt type color. Each pint has cool little facts, but 4 pink guavas inside of this particular pint. I don't know how to describe guava. I love it. I'm a big sour beer fan. A lot of you know that too. And ironically, most of these flavors I love in sour beer. Guava, I'm huge on. Passion fruit's good in sour beer. Mango's incredibly good. Guanabana is also known as soursop. It's in a few sours. We'll talk about that flavor in a little bit. But it's good too. And then coconut. I've actually had a few sours with coconut. Not my cup of tea in sour beer, but there are a few. Anyways, the guava, don't want to get off track here. It's kind of like, it's almost like a very mild, like a combination of strawberry and, this is random, but pear. It's mildly sweet. No tartness here. This particular one is pink guava. But if I say I had to relate it closest to anything, I'm kind of getting, it's a strawberry-ish vibe. But if you know the flavor of guava, particularly pink guava, I think they nailed it. Now, I find the flavor much more pronounced on the first few spoonfuls, and that's, Matthew, you can say that with anything. True. But here, it's so milky and creamy, I'm getting, the redundancy kind of wears off, and I just get a lot of milk and cream flavor that balances it out. So it's kind of, over time, it pulls the guava flavor a little bit. But, however, initially, strong guava flavor. Texture, I don't know if you can see here, the more you let it temper, the better, especially these fruit ice creams. It's creamy. Yes, I'll give them that. Well, they may have, they say 14% butterfat dairy. I will say it's possible, probably. For fruit ice cream, it's creamy. However, it's a little gummy. A tad more on the gummier side than I prefer typically in the texture of ice cream. And maybe a little airy too, pumped into it. This whole pint is just 630 calories, 9 grams of fat. So not terrible, I've seen lighter. But I would call this a lighter ice cream. Slightly airy, slightly gummy, but for being considered a fruity ice cream, pretty creamy. This is exciting. You can actually smell. I don't know if I showed the label, whatever. That's guava. Now we're getting into coconut. And I can actually smell it when I remove. Oh yeah, that's good, because my smell, I feel, is lagging way behind compared to my taste. Anyways, here, pretty much, there's going to be a lot of redundancy here. The texture's the same. Let it temper. Coconut takes a little longer to temper, but creamy for sure. But a little on the airy side. Not the creamiest, not the most premium ice cream I've ever scooped. However, for being 100% with very few ingredients, I gotta hand it to them. Very well job done. Coconut. Strong coconut flavor. Coconut flavor has grown on me a lot. I really enjoy it. The kicker here, and it is very just white. My light is killing me. I gotta get back on my game. Very very white. It looks just like vanilla. You never know it. Or coconut for that matter. And it tastes exactly like a coconut. There's no other way to say it. Very sweet coconut. The kicker here is there's shreds of coconut inside. And I dig that change of texture. 2/3 of a coconut inside this pint. So that's the fun fact for this one. I'm gonna be all over the place because I'm noticing more things as I dig further, but the guavas are from Colombia. Coconuts are from Thailand. Very good. Nailed the coconut. Nailed it. Especially that texture. I love the gradients of the shreds. If you're a coconut hater, I mean, this is your steer clear. But what would make this way better is just some sort of chocolate in here. Coconut and chocolate, they would crush it. However, plain coconut, not bad. Oh, I forgot to rank the guava. What am I doing here? I'm really got to get it together. I'm going to give coconut a 7.5 out of 10. Backtracking to guava, it's going to get a 7 out of 10. You have all, I'm sure, I hope. I know the other ones can be a little exotic. I don't know if that's the right word. I know y'all have all had mango in some form or fashion though. And once again, nailed the flavor. It's very ripe. It seems juicier, sweeter for sure, but it's refreshing. The color is a light orange. There you go, that's more accurate there. Light orange. Right here, we have one fresh mango coming from Colombia. They nailed it. I find this one actually, and it's obviously sat a little longer because we're 3 pints into the review. I find this one to be a little creamier. I can dig this one a lot. Really, it's really good. Still a little gummy. I don't think we'll ever. I think the texture is a definite improvement here, even at 14% butterfat dairy. Texture is an improvement. Creamy. Still airy though, and gummy. More gummy than airy. I want that to be clear, and it's not terrible by any means. It's just I critique ice cream. Y'all know this is what I do. That's my main complaint. Mango. 8 out of 10. Little palate cleanser. I know a lot of y'all are thinking, what the heck is Guanabana? AKA soursop, which is what I've heard of and I've had before in beer with other fruits though, so I've never had a true a true taste of it. I've never just eaten the fruit. I actually don't think I've ever eaten, out of all these, just a straight guava or a straight passion fruit. I don't think I've ever eaten straight coconut either, but I know I've had a mango. That's the only one. I don't think I've ever had guava, passion fruit, or soursop straight up. Anyways, I find this one to be the creamiest of all. Loving this texture. I don't notice so much the air here as I do the gumminess. I don't even know how to tell you the taste of this. It's definitely, I'm going to call it like Caribbean vibe. Sweet, for sure. But I almost get like a little, I don't know if I want to call it citrus, sour citrus on the back end. It's almost like pineapple-y, like a sweet pineapple or apple. Let's call it a mix of pineapple and apple. Then it finishes kind of definitely citrusy. I mean, I don't want to call it orange, but maybe mango-y. Might even have a little mango in there. I know this was a hard one. 90 grams of Guanabana inside, and I really don't know what that means, 90 grams. And they come from Colombia as well. All these calories are about the same. They hover between, 3 of them are 210. This one's actually the lightest at 190, the Guanabana, and the coconut's the densest at 230. That is the, it's got 14, I guess being a nut, 14 grams of fat. That's why it's got more calories per serving. Pineapple-y, mango-y. It's interesting. It's good. I can't tell you, it's just kind of not quite as white as the coconut, maybe a light, like an off-white. I can't tell you if they nailed this flavor, unfortunately, because I never had it, but it's good. I mean, I definitely wouldn't go out of my way to scoop it again, but glad I tried it. So we're gonna call this sour sop. Once again, texture's good, flavor. We'll call it a 7 out of 10. Lastly, passion fruit. Not quite as orange as the mango. You can almost call it a yellowish orange or a light orange. I don't know what's proper for this particular pint. Texture is more so like the first three, I guess. It's creamy, but a little airy, a little gummy. Still impressive for fruity ice cream. I don't even know how big a passion fruit is, but there's 4 of them in this pint. And they also come from Colombia. It's a place to be for the tropical fruits. Now, really digging this flavor. Very tropical, the most tropical of them all. It's definitely the most tart, the most tangy. Still juicy. Pretty juicy, actually. Still sweet. Tangy, the tart, very citrusy. The tropicalness very much outweighs the sweetness here. Still sweet, but it leans more towards the tangy and tart. Really reminds me of a beer. I actually want to be on a beach drinking some, I don't know, beer cocktail with this. Like, it has that just a warm place, beach vibe to it. Good flavor. Great flavor. Nailed it as far as passion fruit goes. I really love the tartness and the tanginess here. May call that personal preference, but they also nailed the flavor. Once again, the only thing that really needs to work is the texture. Passion fruit gets an 8 out of 10. Short summary since I've rambled enough. Job well done for being, I was very skeptical. I'm always, when people reach out, and this time it happened to be like 100% just fruit. And I'm like, don't know if I like fruit that much, you know? I do, but not my ice cream. So I was very skeptical. Exceeded my expectations. Definitely worth scooping, especially if the fruit ice creams is your you know, your forte, your go-to. I highly recommend you giving these guys a try. Is there room for improvement? Yes. Biggest complaint would be the gumminess and a little bit of air pumped into these pints. But changed my mind a little bit when it comes to the fruit ice cream. Give me a different perspective. So I appreciate you watching, guys, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.